How to hypnotize anybody. Hey, it's Jason Linett here from Hypnotic Workers, as well as the Work Smart Hypnosis podcast, inviting you to join me at the 2017 National Guild of Hypnotists NGH Hypnosis Convention. It's a 3-day event that's happening the second full weekend in August in Massachusetts. And specifically, I'm inviting you to join me. I've circled it in my schedule. Sunday morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. It's a presentation that I've titled How to Hypnotize Anybody. I'm standing here in my office. It's called Virginia Hypnosis. I'm in Virginia and I do hypnosis. And I'm here next to the Dave Ellman induction. And in the words of Dave Ellman, he would say, if you understand the rules of hypnotic suggestion, there's not a person in the world you cannot hypnotize. And what's interesting to me is that so often a client comes into the office and maybe that's their concern, whether or not they can be hypnotized. Although I've even heard fellow consulting hypnotists share this dialogue of a person they could not hypnotize. And there's something I've always found jarring about that. And I tend to want to think of things in a rather systematic nature, whether it's working with my clients and a mechanism of course, not doing the same thing with everybody, having a very client-centered approach, yet at the same time, what are the systems that we're going to go through in terms of, okay, you come in, we're going to talk about your goals, we're going to talk about hypnosis, we're going to do the work, we're going to set the expectation for success. Or maybe even in terms of your business as well. You know, the mechanism that the phone rings and you now know the things that you're about to say, the process they're about to guide through, how the confirmation will occur, and exactly how well they're going to show up at their first appointment. So we always want to look for systems. And again, this jarring thing that I found that people, whether they're clients, whether they're fellow hypnotists, sharing that dialogue of this idea that there are people who cannot be hypnotized. When we break down the actual definition, back to Dave Ellman, he would say, hypnosis is the bypassing of the critical factors of the mind, followed by the automatic acceptance of selective thinking. Let's simplify that. It's automatic reaction in spite of conscious awareness. So again, it's simple things that you and I would talk about all the time, that we say all the time as hypnotists. You're watching a movie, you know it's fiction, you get swept up in the story. You're there driving your car, you're thinking of everything other than driving your car, you still end up where you'd like to go. Yet realize we can reframe every issue a client would come into our office with as being a hypnotic state. You know you're safer up there in the airplane than you were driving to the airport, and yet there you are feeling terrified. To which I would actually say to my clients, congratulations, you're already doing hypnosis. Let me show you how to do it better. Let's use these powers for good rather than evil. You know, the routine. So when we look at the actual application of how is it that people transition from our normal everyday waking state to this hypnotic state, however you personally want to define it, what are the mechanisms that were there? And that's what this workshop is all about. How to hypnotize anybody. What are the principles? What are the rules of suggestion? What are the expectations that we set? And how do we transition from this to that? From normal everyday to hypnotic state. From here I am chatting with you to deep trance phenomenon. It's a very, very simple formula. And once you learn it, as the title suggests, how to hypnotize anybody. This is a presentation that comes directly out of my trainings, modeling several schools of thought and chunking it all down to just the specifics. So to virtually eliminate that scenario where there's a person that you don't know what to do and how to hypnotize them and how to effectively guide them to the state where they ought to be. So join me Sunday morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. at the National Guild of Hypnotists Convention. Register for the convention now at ngh.net. And Sunday morning, kick off your day with a successful, abundant energy as you learn how to hypnotize anybody. I'm Jason Linett. See you there.